Welcome back. With me, I have Faith Ann. Faith Ann is an aspiring MCA for Umoja 2. Who is Faith Ann? Faith Ann is a journalist. Faith Ann is a businesswoman, a communications expert. Faith Ann is an actress. Faith Ann is a peace ambassador, and she is also a passionate leader. She is a Jen of all trades. Yes, I say Jen of all trades. Hi.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning too.
Unafilaje asubuhi ya leo?
Niko poa.
Feeling privileged to have an aspiring leader, a woman leader with me this morning.
It is it's a nice moment, especially when we have so many women leaders coming into leadership, and it's something to celebrate about. Yeah.
How is it being, right now women are really eyeing the leadership positions, and we know that the political scene currently is obviously still a male dominated space. So how is it for you? Do you feel any form of intimidation? How are you trying to navigate into the space?
Okay, so far it's not such a male-dominated space as before.
Yes.
Because we have seen so many women who have broken and shattered the glass ceiling and came into this political field, and they have managed before, because we are not the first one. We appreciate our role models who have been there before us, and they have proved to us that women are great leaders. So it's not just a space of violence and all sorts of words. It's a space of leadership. It's a space that you get to show your leadership qualification, to interact with people more, and it's a space that gives us a platform to lead the society to a better place. Yeah.
What inspired you into getting into politics? What inspired you, and you said, I really want to be an MCA of where I come from?
What inspired me is, first of all, I'm a person of change. I like being a vessel of change, not just now, but from way back, since I was in school. When I'm staying somewhere, or when I'm participating in something, I really like to see the positive outcome of that thing. So the leadership qualities in me really pushed me. It's like an urge, like a spirit that is pushing you, that you need to see this change at this and this place. And that's why I say it started earlier while I was still in school. I've been following both the national and local politics. I started practicing mothership skills while still in school.
Oh, nice.
I started adopting my first kids while in high school. So
you were a school mom to many.
To many, exactly. And I could take someone at home and really beg my mom that we need to support this person. My fees has not been paid, but I'm still pushing my parents to pay someone else's school fees.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel that pain of that person not going to school while I'm in school. So that is what leadership entails: being able to put yourself in someone's shoes, and making sure that whatever basic commodities you're having, or whatever life you're staying, the other person is also have the privilege to access that type
of life.
Yeah.
Yes. What changes do you intend to bring to Umoja Ward?
Umoja basically needs renovation. Everything in Umoja needs to be renovated.
What do you mean?
Starting from infrastructure. We have very, very poor roads in Umoja. The inner roads, the NCS deals with the inner roads. We have poor roads in Umoja. So Umoja problems starts immediately when you wake up. As a resident of Umoja, hivi ukiamka, ile maji ya tap unakunywa, that water, it's not clean water.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like it smells sewerage in your taste. So that water, first of all, Umoja people deserve better. Safe water. The moment you step out of your house, unakanyaga ile matope, unakanyaga. So the road, so it starts when you wake up, when you step out of the house.
The moment you step out of the door.
Exactly. The playing fields are seasonal. Umoja, my young people, ama wale wanapenda futa, ama ball yoyote, they play in seasons. When it rains, you can't.
Cannot play.
Exactly. So it needs renovation of the playgrounds, renovation of the roads, sewerage and drainage. And then pre-primary school, we need to address that in Umoja also. So Umoja ukikaa chini hivi, you see like there's a lot of work that needs
to be done. What is this that you're going to, what is this that makes you different from the current MCA for Umoja? What makes you so different?
Okay,
what puts in that line of difference?
First of all, what makes me different and maybe unique is that people don't understand who an MCA really is. And
help us understand who is an MCA. For the people who do not understand.
An MCA should not be a boss. That is the first thing. That an MCA should not be. Because it is the smallest electoral unit in our government system. And it is someone who interacts mostly with the people
kwa
ground, yeah. Ule msee anaweza kutana na mama mboga na wakae chini na wapige story. Exactly. Because ule mama mboga ndiye atamwambia shida ziko ground na zipeleke county assembly. So an MCA is someone who needs to be approachable, not just someone who chooses who to speak with and who not to speak with. So it needs someone who, and I think my communication skills comes handy in that, because it needs someone who can talk with anyone at any time at the ward level, get their ideas, get their views about the priority projects that needs to be addressed, take them to the county assembly. It's also needs someone professional, because you don't just elect an MCA for the sake of going to sit at the county assembly. You need someone who is going to debate your issues there. You need someone who is going to participate in the other debates there. You need someone who is going to legislate about the issues at the county assembly, especially the distribution of the county assembly resources, so that they can be able to be in equitable measure. And you need someone who is going to oversight.
Yes.
Yeah, at the county assembly. So it needs both someone who can, it needs someone who balances.
Who brings the balance between the government and the people on the ground.
Exactly.
So you are going to tell us what makes you different from the current MCA.
Okay, I don't want to talk about him so much, but what I need is, when I meant that MCA is not a boss, it's like, how many times does the current MCA interact with the Umoja residents? That is a question to be asked. How many times does he pass via the roads and see the filthy type of roads he's using and doesn't think that this needs to be renovated? It's because if an MCA, sorry to say this, if an MCA drives a big car and doesn't fill those potholes, you see, that mama mboga or that boda guy who uses that road daily feels it. So we need someone who lives in Umoja, who stays in Umoja, who feels the pain of Umoja people, who also feels that pain as a resident, that maybe the children, like my son's schools there, you know that your son uses those road every morning, security needs to be beefed out, maybe the security lights. So it needs someone who has that feeling. I'm not sure if the current MCA has that feeling, because if he was in a position to have felt this problem, then we could not be talking about these things.
About this right now, yes. What are you doing currently? How are you, speaking of mingling with the people on ground, how are you at the moment interacting with people of Umoja on ground? What is this that you're doing with your people?
Okay, first of all, I started interacting with people because I grew up in Umoja. I started interacting with people way before even my political ambitions in the area came up. I've been supporting the football teams in Umoja. I'm part of them. In fact, I feel so nice to be part of the fun of the young people who are participating in various talents in Umoja, and it makes me feel happy to make sure that those young people who are going to play, because those are football teams that are in the county and regional level, they need a lot of support. So I've been there supporting them in a few ways I can, and making sure that these talents is recognized somewhere, and these boys gets a bridge to move into another direction. So I've been supporting talent mostly in Umoja, even before this, and making sure that those young people get what they need when they are playing outside the field. I've been creating opportunities for the young people. Currently, I have a database of young people in Umoja.
Nice. What kind of opportunities have you created for them?
Exactly. Now that's where I'm coming. You see, when the young people maybe finishes school and they are stranded on what next, because most young people wakimaliza shule wanashindwa what is the next step. You see, they need guidance so that they can know which institutions to join, how to feel they could go into the COOPS platform, and they need someone to guide them on that. Those who are in school and those who have done different professions need guidance into the employment market. So I have a group of professionals who are helping me to absorb these young people into the employment market. So it's like identifying your professional, your profession or your quality, and getting the best place to place you. In 2019, I assisted more than 25 young people to join SGR because they needed different qualities of young people, trained for 3 months, then they get absorbed into employment. So I went out window shopping for those qualities of the young people, got them inside. By that time, I was not in a position to pay for their tuition fee. So I approached the different leaders to assist me, pay for their tuition fee. So it was
and
paid.
enable them to get the training they needed.
Exactly, and they were absorbed into employment. Again, I have, I'm a core member of Kenya School of Industrialization, whereby we help young people train into technical skills, because not all of them go to institution. So we help them in training into technical skills that can help them to be self-employed and generate their own income.
Because I was actually about to ask you, you've spoken about professional individuals, but what about those individuals that have actually not gone to campus? How do you enable them to get opportunities away from crime, away from all these other bad things? How do you get them opportunities? They're not professionals, they've not gone to school, but they're willing to work. They're willing to put in the work and make clean money.
Okay, that's where I've come in with the issue of technical skills, because we have some people who are talented in some aspects of life. We have good mechanics. I have a group of mechanics, around 10 that I interact with on a daily basis. If I have someone who is interested in being a mechanic, I know who to link with. You get someone who is interested in being a plumber, you know who to link with. You see? So you get them understand that it's not about professionalism and going in this institution. They can also be a change, or they can also be something at their level. You see, help them to access these technical skills and sharpen their skills so that they can be able to be reliable and change the society. Because I believe if you change a young person, you have already changed
a generation.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. And then not forgetting the women. Most of the women in Umoja are business people. Most of the women in Umoja are business people. So how do you come in handy to empower them in their business? And we remember in when did we have COVID? 2020.
2020.
Yeah, most businesses went down.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, they did.
So you come up handy at that time to assist them to how they can revive their business. And also, we came up with an activity of women in cottage industries. So you assist those women who are unemployed. Some of them lost their jobs at that time, on how they can even make those cakes in their houses and sell them.
Sell them, yes.
Yeah, make the fresh juices in their houses and sell them. So it was about coming up with a cottage industry technique that women can do something little
for themselves and create an income for themselves.
Exactly.
And you are a journalist, you're an actress, you're a communications expert. You have a lot going on. You wear so many hats. How do you tell us about Anne from a young age? A
young age. Now that's where I start. And I'm also a mother. I'm a mother.
And a mother.
Yes, I'm a mother to a handsome 9 years old son. So I may say, like, Anne started having these skills, as I've said before, in high school. I think at a certain point, my parents took me for tuition in a boys' school. So I was the only girl, like, in a classroom of 200 boys. Yeah. So I think I started sharpening my skills from there.
Wow. And how was that? It wasn't intimidating?
No, the boys were so nice because I went for tuition at Lubino Boys High School. I'm currently even in the alumni groups of the boys. And I attend their functions. They were so... They treated me like a sister, and they sharpened my skills. So dealing with them made me to be someone who can deal with anything in a society. From there, from school, because I've told you I started adopting my kids while still in high school. I had 2 kids while in Form 3 that I mentored. In fact, one of them lost her mom while we were still in school. So I became a mother immediately to that girl. Till now we still interact. So I started doing that while still in school. Currently I have 10 kids that I've adopted indirectly because I'm supporting them and seeing that their future is nurtured. I heard you talking about HIV previously before I came in.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, since you have a 9-year-old boy, you've listened into the conversation. At what age do you think it's right to introduce this conversation to children?
Maybe at that 9-year-old, you start like telling him about his body. First start telling him about his body, why girls are girls, he's a boy. And you slowly introduce him to how he can interact with the girls and so far. But about HIV, there's a girl, there's one of the daughter I had that was an orphan, and I was raising. So when the girl was in class 7 or 8, I noticed she started being sick and had those symptoms. I took her to the hospital and they told me she was positive. So the challenge was revealing the news to this.
How old was she again?
She was around 12 years. So, and she was an orphan. So it was telling this girl, explaining to her what is HIV and what is going on, and why do I want to introduce her to medicine. And she's in class 6 or 7, so it was a bit of a challenge, but that's part of the things that has sharpened my skills as a leader. Being a leader to that girl has now graduated and she's working. I'm proud of her. But it took a lot of time to make sure that you're counseling her and you're making sure that she's
okay.
Yeah.
And she sees what you're trying to tell her.
Exactly.
So you were telling us about your professional journey. You're a journalist, you're an actress, you're a communications expert.
Thank you.
And now an aspiring MCA.
Going back to that, okay. So professionally, I'm a trained journalist. I've worked with 3 international media houses. That is Africa Journal, Thomson Reuters, and Associated Press. I've managed to work with all those 3 international media houses. My communication skill, I've sharpened them outside, not in the media field, because I've managed to get myself into every institution or every organization I get into. I managed to get myself into that communication space and representing them. I was, currently I'm still the CEO of Mia's Progressive Investment Company and the treasurer of the welfare part of the organization. So it takes that leadership skills, qualities to find yourself there. I'm also a born-again Christian in ACK, Anglican Church of Kenya, and I've managed to be the organizing secretary of Nairobi Diocese Youth Ministry, which covers 70 parishes in Nairobi. So I was the organizing secretary of this young generation, and it just shows you that God has a purpose. If you put you in those leadership positions, he has a purpose. I've also told you about Kenya School of Industrialization that we started with my fellow people. We came together and checked our concern was these young people who are not in maybe these institutions, or these young people who have done some technical courses for some time or technical jobs, and they don't have any paperwork to show that they've
actually gone to school.
Exactly. So we come up with this institution that we were awarding certificates, reviewing their work, analyzing it, and awarding them certificate in their respective field, so that this mechanic can use this certificate to get a job somewhere. This Juakali person can use this certificate to secure a job somewhere. Yes. So we were in a position to go there, analyze the innovative skills, their technical skills, and award them certificates. And we were cooperating with NITA, Kenya Institute of Technical. We were working with different institutions to see that these young people get to where they want to be. And about the cottage industries, we traveled nationally, not only in Nairobi, so I've not done it only in Umoja. We went into Rukana, and there was a story that they used the cow dung to change into making some sort of oil. So we went into there and we talked about them, and we brought the cottage industry aspect into them. We have traveled as far as western part of Kenya and helped them understand that whatever they are doing, those vegetables they are harvesting, they cannot just use it for one day. They can dry them.
Keep using it, yes.
Yeah, and keep using them. The tomatoes, they can make tomato paste out of them.
You've really done quite a lot. Now that you're getting into you are now in the MCA scene, what are you going to do for your Umoja people? What is this you're going to do for them? What is your manifesto looking like?
My manifesto looks like it's more of a people-oriented manifesto. It's more of the Umoja 2 people and not Faith. I want to go to the county assembly as Umoja 2 and not as Faith and Mskoyo as a person. So as Umoja 2, I want to go to the assembly with people's vision in my brain, so that you know that when I'm going there and going to represent their priority projects, which are these projects that I'm going to present there. And that includes, as I've told you, the road, the infrastructure, the playgrounds, and how do we come up with another activity that it's networking, using people, bringing it into aspect of the importance of networking in Umoja 2 people, so that we get the professions of Umoja. This is outside the role, but we get the professions in Umoja 2 and see how they can pull these other people to where they are, so they can be a bridge to bring these other people to their side of the story. How we are going to make sure that these women or young people in business are going to be exposed to the outside world and know how they can expand their business or improve on their business aspect. And mostly how we are going to make sure that Umoja 2 becomes a better world that we need to see. Good roads, good water, infrastructure, security, and the rest of it.
To all the people in Umoja who are watching you right now, why Faith? Why Faith?
Okay, before I say why Faith, I've forgotten about bursary. Every child in Umoja must go to school. Every child in Umoja should be in school at the right time. Why Faith? Faith has just told you about herself, and I've just told you it's not me, it's us. So it's Faith because it's us, it's not me. Why Faith? Because I have the capability to represent you to the county assembly. I've been a resident of Umoja. I know what it is that we are facing in Umoja. I know our problems. I know what affects us. And I'm here for you to send me as a servant. I'm presenting myself as a servant, not as a boss. So it's Faith because Faith is a servant and she's ready to serve you.
Wow. Where can we get you on all your social media platforms?
On Facebook, Faith Ann. I just use my name, Faith Ann, on Facebook. Same to Twitter. Twitter, I use Faith Annie. Instagram, Faith Ann. My number I'll share the next time I'm here. But I'm available on all social media platforms, and I forgot to say I'm a production manager in Shoeback Media, that I'm nurturing young people who are coming up with acting skills, and it is in YouTube. You can go and search Shoeback Media. We are doing some of our things there, whereby I'm also exercising my acting skills there. And we have so far produced more than 300 movies. So any young person who is passionate about acting and being in media, you can visit Shoeback Media on YouTube.
Shoeback Media.
Shoe, like
Shoe.
I named it Shoe because it took a lot of struggle forming it, because we worked a lot. So it's Shoe. Viatu.
Shoeback.
Shoeback, chini ya viatu Shoeback. Shoeback Media.
Wow. Thank you, Faith, for joining us. We as KUTV would like to wish you nothing but the very best, all the best in your in this fight, in this word, in these aspirations. We wish you all the best, and to your Umoja people, we hope they vote for you.
Amen. Thank you. And I didn't say my party. I'm vying under DAP Kenya, Democratic Action Party. Yeah, a party that believes in democracy. And what I can just tell Umoja 2 people ni, your vote, your voice. Your vote is your voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Faith. We will be coming back with a story after this short break.